Hello everyone, this is Donna Spencer, Lucra Journey, here with another location history in 5 minutes or less. Today we're talking about the beautiful port of Skagway, Alaska. The town we know as Skagway kind of exploded into existence, but then being one of only 2 ports to the gold mines will do that to you. Before 1887, the area was used by local Native Americans for hunting and fishing. In fact, the name Skagway comes from a native word that means a place where the north wind blows. And the start of the centuries-old Native American trade route, the Chinook Trail, became extremely popular with prospectors going into the Yukon. So popular, in fact, that in the 1880s, the Navy and the Army patrols felt it extremely necessary to establish a federal presence there. It's truly no wonder, since the population of this area went from a small core group of people to somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 people, with about 1,000 prospectors coming through each week. Unfortunately, that kind of population explosion, combined with the reason why they were there, led to a lot of excessive or extra violence. One such remarkable story is reported to happen on September 19, 1901. A man attempted to rob the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce on 5th Street with a stick of dynamite. I fear this man failed to come up with an acceptable exit strategy, or just simply didn't time things very well, because things go very wrong very quickly, and the resulting explosion of this stick of dynamite takes out, obviously, of course, the man and the bank building itself. Happy ending for the bank though, because as they're rebuilding, they find about $1,200 worth of gold dust that had dropped from the prospectors coming in and sifted down in between the floorboards to settle underneath. Although the weather was mild and lovely for our visit, when you're in a town that's named after the north wind, you can bet it doesn't stay that nice all the time. On October 23, 1918, the SS Princess Sophia leaves Skagway with about 350 plus people on board. Unfortunately, she runs aground on the Vanderbilt Reef in the middle of a blinding snowstorm just outside of Juneau. And due to miscalculations, the weather, and other fun things, the smaller rescue boats are not able to get to her in time, and she ends up breaking up on the reef, and all 300 plus people perish. Although Skagway became the first incorporated city in Alaska in 1900, by then the gold rush was over. And by 1910, the population of Skagway has shrunk down to about 875 people. The only thing that kept this small town going was the railway that still continued to bring freight, fuel, and transportation to Whitehorse and to a few of the still functioning mines in the Yukon. Today, this beautiful little town gives visitors and tourists a glimpse at the Gold Rush era with its restored buildings and boardwalks, vintage locomotive that grants ride, and the whole thing is preserved by the Klondike Gold Rush National Park. It's truly no $100 worth of gold dust. Really? And it's vintage locomotive. Let me start that over again. Locomotive. Box, and it's vintage by the Klondike Gold Rush National History Park. Klondike Gold Rush National History Park. It makes perfect sense. Why can't I remember it?